Hi everyone, this is Maggie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by to see me. Today we're going to work in our, I'm not calling it that, altered planner slash journal, no words journal. I'm going to call it my glue book. So we're going to work in this today, and I've got a few things, papers mainly out here, and I've got this wonderful artist rendering, I don't know if you can see it, of one of my childhood drawing houses. No, it's not really from childhood, it's from today. Goes to show you my artistic abilities. All right. So anyway, again, I want to be transparent and fully honest. This idea has been brewing around in my head that I wanted to do something like this for quite some time. And I don't know how this is going to work out, to be honest with you, but we're going to give it a try. Now, I did see something like this in one of those old Somerset Studio magazines. So I guess you could say it was inspired by that. It's certainly not anywhere near what was in there, but it is gonna be kind of the same idea, I guess. I can try to find it and show you, but it doesn't really matter because I'm trying to make this my own, and it's been a while since I looked at that. I certainly didn't study it or anything, so let's proceed. Let's move forward, okay? So I've already got my, I'm gonna set this aside for now. I've already got my base that I like to start with, and I think I'm going to use this is just thin paper, barely heavier than copy paper, and it came from the Paper Studio. I'm pretty sure. I've got the book buried here. Let me see if I can tell you. It came, yes, the Paper Studio Theodosia Square, and it's that real thin paper that you get quite a bit of. So I've got to consider the size of the real estate that I have to work with, which isn't a lot. So I think I'm just going to cut kind of a square rectangle. I want it to be a little bit lopsided because I do want this to take on kind of a whimsical look to it. And I don't want it to take up the whole page. So this is 5 1/4 inches. The base that I'm working with is 5 1/4 inches wide. So I probably don't really want this any bigger than maybe 4 1/2 inches. You know, like I said, I don't want to take up the whole page. Not that I'm going to put anything important on the rest of it, but 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2. So I am just going to tear this at 4 1/2. I should get my trimmer out. In some ways it's a lot easier and faster, but it takes up a little bit of space. That okay, so I want 4 1/2. I don't necessarily want a perfect square, so I probably will go 4 1/2 by 5. Okay, so this is kind of going to be the base of my little house. Well, you know, maybe that is too wide because I do kind of want to. Yeah, it's too wide because I got to put the roof on, Maggie. You're not a very good architecture here. I'm not a very good architect. So I'm going to cut it down to 4 inches. That might work better. Okay. So this is the base of my little house. And I want to make the roof out of this kind of red paper. But I have no idea This is 4 inches, right? Yeah, 4 inches. So maybe if I just make this like 4 1/4, it might work. And this paper will not go to waste. I will guarantee you it will be used in a master board, probably the one coming up on Monday. Now you will already have seen this by the time the flip through for the library journal goes up. The only thing it doesn't have is a tie, and I really am not sure what I'm going to do quite with that yet. Alright, so I just kind of want a lopsided triangle. So let's see. Of course I don't want it too tall. So maybe it could be a little taller. Let me just go out a little bit. Okay, you can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, that might work. Alright, so I'm just going to cut along. Doesn't have to be perfect. I do want it to look like a whimsical. It's going to be whimsical, alright. I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Again, these scraps, except the little ones, I don't save everything. I just don't have room to do that. So we're going to have our little whimsical lopsided house. Maybe I'll cut this off here so it kind of sits lopsided. So I'm just going to, I don't want it too lopsided. It's going to be plain lopsided. Oh wow, this should be really something. So we're going to set this, well actually, alright, so here's our roof. Now I wanted something kind of whimsical. Well, not kind of whimsical, but very whimsical for my chimney. This came from a sewing journal I did a few months ago. I think I'm going to use this spool of thread. Let me see which one is better. Maybe this one's better. I'm going to use this spool of thread as my chimney. Bear with me. Hopefully this will come together. This is an experiment. First time experience since I was a child. You know, I thought I didn't really do any paper crafts like scrapbooking or junk journaling like this when I was a young adult. But this does bring to my memory a time when I did love to sit and cut out paper dolls and their clothes. And I remember how we used to make those strings of paper dolls that were all, you know, from one piece of material and Christmas tree, not material, but paper and Christmas trees. Okay, so I'll junk this up. I will ink this up when I'm ready to put it all together. This house is not exactly as lopsided in the way that I want it to be. Maybe I like this better. We'll just go with this since that was my first. Okay, so we'll get this on here. I'm not going to glue it down yet, like I said. Okay, and then I'm going to use this brown paper for my door. I'm going to put a little door right there. See if I can cut it somewhat straight. I'm going to put my door right here. And then I'm going to put a window right here. Now my original idea, I wanted to put a piece of acetate on this. And I suppose I still could, actually. How big do I want to make it? How big's my little friend here? This darling little girl. So she's about 2 inches by 1.5 inches. So maybe I need 4 inches. 4 inches by 2 1/4 or something like that. Oh, I hear my granddaughter downstairs. She is not happy about something. Okay, so I hope everybody's good today. I'm not too bad, you know, a few aches and pains, but nothing that I can't live with. And I'm so thankful for that's all it is. You know, I'm not going to complain about an ache here, an ache there. That's minor stuff. Alright, so this is going to be my window. It's kind of large, but this is a whimsical house. And my original thought was to put a piece of acetate on here, and I guess I could still do that if I can find the acetate quickly. I'll be right back. I'm back. So I couldn't find my acetate, of course. But I did find a piece of package wrap. Actually, it came off of a paper pack, so it'll work just as well. I'm going to cut this down. So I'm not going to throw this away yet. See if this is going to work. Alright, so I found that. I also found this cutoff. I'm not quite sure why I saved it unless it was for this little bit of you know, paper here. I love this paper. And I'm going to see if I can kind of frame my window with this. It's kind of thicker than I want it to be in places, but this is a very whimsical house, right? Alright, so let's put her aside, put my door aside for now, and see what we can do about this window. So what I see happening is I'd like to put this right around the edges, maybe this way, maybe this way. I think that'll work if the glue will stick to this. Okay, so they're going to be different widths, but you know, that's okay. I have a piece here. I think that'll work. Okay, so how am I going to manage this paper? Because I have no idea if it's going to stick. I think I will maybe try to cut some of the border off of this little girl. Now I didn't look at my camera before I paused it, so I have no idea how long I've been on here altogether, but I do not want to make this very, I say this every single time, right? I don't know why whoever creates these little things leave such a wide border. Maybe some people like them. I don't know. I don't particularly like them because I think it takes away from what the image is. So I'm not like doing it really close. I'm just trying to get the bulk of the white off. You know, I suppose I could use some of a double-sided tape. That might hold it better than glue. I will ink around her a touch. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put her in the window, and she's not going to be straight either. She's going to be a little lopsided. That's a cute little girly. What should I name her? I'm going to name her Dolly, because was thinking about my paper dolls. That was so long ago, I don't even want to think about it. You know, but life goes on. Life is what it is. You try to hold on to all those good little funny memories. Well, all right, here we go again. Glue, don't do this to me, please. I tend to think that these caps, on these sugar bell bottles, tend to clog up pretty easily because I have capped this needle protector on the end of this. And this glue normally doesn't. It wasn't doing it in my other little bottles, so I don't know if that makes a difference or if it's the weather. Who knows? Okay. So now that we're in my little piece of, where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is try to use double-sided tape, one of these things right here, and see if this will work. I haven't used this particular one before, but the one I did use, I don't remember it having a pattern on it. I hope this pattern goes away. It's barely on one of these edges, so let's see what happens, guys. Okay, well that looks like it's going to stick. Trim around it. I know my acetate sheets are not too far from me, but, and I'm not going to hunt for them right now, but I think I will hunt for them so I have them, because I may want to use them in my next journal, so got to make sure I've got them handy. Okay. Now I do want to make a couple of little window panes maybe. Let's see how well that'll work out. Maybe like this. This. Wide. Okay, so my next journal is going to be a Paris journal. That's what I picked out of the basket. I wanted to pick the black and white one, but I was honest. I kept it honest. I don't know, do I want to go on here? here. I think I do. Alright, so maybe I should try to start putting this together somewhat. Because I'm not sure I'm going to put this window together yet. I'm stalling the inevitable. Stalling the inevitable. And I either need to get a new ink pad or I need to get a re-inker. Okay, so let me put the house down first. This is just not wanting to come out. Shake it up, Jim. I don't always put it real close to the edge because you can't see, I'm sure, but I tend to squirt. I try not to, so I know that if I put too much, it's going to get all over the place. I want this, I guess. I think I've had it every which way. I'll put a roof on. I've got to say, if this works out, it's one of the funner ones that I've done, to be honest. If I am being perfectly honest, it is one of the funner ones. Okay. Now my little door, where did my little door go? Well, I'm not going to worry about the little door right now. So this window is going to go kind of crooked like this. Put one across up here. I just wish I knew if this would hold. Well, all I can do is try. That's way too much glue. Oh, my desk is going to need a good cleaning off, I can tell you that much. Okay, so we're just going to go like right about here. I should use this piece of paper. Right about here. These should even be a lot thinner, but I know if I try to cut them thinner, And I'm looking at another interactive piece for my next journal to kind of add into the mixture. But I have to figure it out. I'm not quite sure about that one, this one. I don't think it's complicated, but we'll see. I'm going to look at it some more and do a prototype and see if I like it. And if I do, then I will share it. I really am, these last several months, more into the, maybe I'm just going to glue it like here, into the interactive pieces in my journal. I really like that. I think if I should ever sell my journals, it would make them way more appealing. In my opinion. It's just my opinion. That doesn't mean that's correct. That's just my opinion. I mean, really, you know. Like this. I'll trim these up. So if you don't have acetate and you want to do maybe some, not this, but there's lots of things, lots of elements out there that you can make for your journal that don't require, but they can include acetate. And acetate is not all that expensive. You know, you can get it, I've gotten it in 8.5 by 11 sheets. But there's other things you can use as well, like I said, and this just literally came off of a package of scrapbook paper. You know, that you they slip it into. Okay, so here's my little chimney. I just don't know where I want to put him. Maybe over here, since the window's going over there. Balance it out a little bit so it doesn't roll down the hill. Okay. We got our chimney. Now we have our window. And this window needs to be lopsided as well, so we're going to send it this direction, I guess. Okay, now I would like to include some of this along my window. Let me see if I can cut a fairly straight piece with my trimmer. I don't know if I can or not, but I'm going to try. Try to square it off right there. Oh, it still was fatter on this end. Doggone it. Doggone it. Okay, well, I can go like this. Charles looks like she's in jail. You're not in jail, darling. Believe me, you're just caught in my crazy idea here. As you can see, this is very patchworky. These gold pieces are going to be all different widths. But again, I think that adds to the charm here of what I'm trying to do. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to create a fun page for my glue book. That's what I'm trying to do. It may not be what anybody else would do, but that's what I'm doing. I'm going to cut it off right here. Anyway, I'm having fun and I'm laughing, and I mean, what more could you possibly ask for? Seriously and truly. If something makes you smile and laugh, there's really not much more you can ask for from it. My husband had the greatest laugh. Oh, he loved to laugh and joke around. When he was in high school, he was probably the most jovial of all his friends. And, you know, some of them, you know, had gotten into drinking beer. You know, he came from a Bible-believing church and family, and that was not allowed in their family at all. But he never had a desire to do that anyway. He did not drink, he did not smoke, and he felt absolutely no need for it. And the guys used to say, you know, he was so jovial and happy that it was like he was drunk all the time, you know. You know how people get when they're drunk, you know. And, but that wasn't David. He just was happy and fun-loving and laughed all the time. And I had a very infectious laugh. Well, I don't know if that's exactly the look I was going for, but it's okay. Yeah, I think I'll put her here. I guess I need to cut another door. I don't know what happened to my little door. Probably wound up on the floor. Alright, so let me cut out another door. Not a straight little door. So if you're just starting out in junk journaling, try to use what you have, scraps from stuff. You know, you basically, to get started, need glue, a ruler, some scissors, some paper, scraps of paper, whatever you've got, and start from there. And as it progresses, you will get a better feel for what you like and what you really need to accomplish the things you want to accomplish with your junk journaling. Find my little bling pieces. You know, if I were just more organized, my life would be so much easier. Don't you agree? I mean, I do try. But the problem is I just don't try hard enough. And I thought I put those in one of these drawers. I'm just not seeing them. I'm going to put a little bling on my doorknob. There. Let me glue her down. And put a doorknob on here with some color. How about a red doorknob? Okay. Now I need to cut. I need to use my circle punch. I guess this size will do okay. And cut me out a little bit of sunshine. That we're going to put up here in the sky. Looks more like a moon actually, but let's say it's the sun. Put the sunshine up here. And of course, every beautiful house needs some flowers. Let's see what we have for flowers. And we actually need a butterfly too, but I'd like a different color. These spilled out of a package. They spilled out of a package, and here's some little flowers. Ay, ay, ay. I want a prettier butterfly, which I've got all kinds of butterflies we have. I don't want a monster butterfly. Well, these are kind of large. I don't think butterflies really typically fly into the sun. Oh, I know what I can do. Okay, let me put some flowers down here. Some little flowers by our house. I'm going to put some little flowers. And then I will find some little butterflies to play around. Seems like I need something right here. I'm just thinking. I think the house needs more decoration, but I do get some little butterflies. Those are rub-ons. Oh, let me look in this sticker book. I probably have something in here. So I think this was fun. I enjoyed doing it. I hope you liked it. Please let me know. I think it's a fun addition to my glue book. Oh, I should have used some of these, like they're growing up out of the ground, but that's all right. There's a little ladybug. There's a little ladybug. Come on. Come on, little one. I've got some glue on my fingers, so this just is not wanting to come up. There it goes. Now, ladybugs are always one bug that I kind of liked. I was never afraid of them, never afraid to handle them. There's another one over here. And there's a little tiny bee. I love this sticker book. Okay, so here's a little bee buzzing around the flowers. But I still need a butterfly up there, or down here I need it. Here's a couple. I'm sorry that I just mumbled to myself like that. I'm just really trying to think out loud. So here's a butterfly. And here's another little butterfly. I've kind of gotten away from using stickers as much as I used to, but I do really like these particular stickers. They come from Hobby Lobby, they're Paper Studio. And they're called Stickabilities. I had no idea what that said. I kept trying to say stick a blister, or I don't know, and then one of my subscribers told me what it says. Oh, thank you, Betty. I appreciate that. Now I know. I don't feel so stupid. All right, so, I mean, I suppose if I have a little flower, I could put a little flower up here on the windowsill. It would be nice to have window boxes, right? But I'm not gonna. I mean, there's a lot more detail that I could put into this, but for time's sake, I'm not going to do that. Let's see if I have any of these little ones that are. Oh my goodness. Kind of cute. If it'll stick, I don't know if it's gonna stick. I may have to come back and put it down with some Fabri-Tac, but we're gonna give it a try. All right, everyone, that's it. Like I said, there could be more detail. I could get carried away with this, but I'm not going to do that. I think this was a very fun page, and sorry, there's a glare on there, I know. But I think it was a very fun page, and I would probably do something like this again, but maybe something different. Or maybe something similar, but just not quite the same. So there you have it, our crooked house with the spool of thread for a chimney. Our little girl looking out of this great big window. How she got in there through this little tiny door, I don't know. But that's what makes it fun. Alice in Wonderland, maybe? we could go that route. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you are following me and watching my videos, and you know that the library journal is completed, and the flip through is posted. And I'll be starting next week, sometime maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, on the Paris theme journal. So until the next video, which I know we're going to do a masterboard Monday on Monday. And it's going to have a little bit different twist. In one video I said it was going to be another fabric masterboard, but it's not. I misspoke myself. It's just going to be a regular masterboard, but with a little bit of a twist. So I hope you'll join me for that. Please like and subscribe, and you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye till the next time.